WAOH is brought to you in part by Ohio's #1 trusted real estate team, The Young Team. Online at theyoungteam.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Good Morning Akron. And today I am here with Jay Spencer, who is the house organist at the Canton Palace Theatre. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come on today.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here.
Of course.
Always love to talk about the theater and organ and all kinds of things.
Yeah. Speaking of working, I want to talk a little bit about your background and what you have going on with the theater. Where did you start? Did you always want to get involved in the Palace Theater?
Well, I've lived in Canton for about 40 years, and actually I worked for the police department for 33 years in the crime lab. So I was like the CSI guy in Stark County.
Yeah, so that's completely on the other side.
Exactly, completely opposite. But I had I started volunteering at the Palace in the late 80s. And so I actually worked at the theater almost as long as my real job.
Right.
And but I've for those that don't know, the Canton Palace is a 1926 historic theater. It's atmospheric, meaning when you go inside, it feels like you're outside. Designed by the same guy as the Akron Civic.
Right.
So they're like sister theaters.
Right, of course.
And the Palace has a pipe organ, a Kilgan theater organ that's original to the building. And so when I started volunteering there, the fellow that was playing the organ there since about 1980, his name was Bob Beck. He let me he knew I played the organ, and he let me he sort of showed me the ropes, and eventually then when he decided to kind of step aside, I sort of filled that gap.
Right.
So I've been playing there for 25 years or so.
Yeah.
And love it.
Yeah.
And so that's like a passion now, So the Palace and the organ and all the people involved with it are really important to Stark County, me, and Canton.
It's so refreshing to hear, honestly, like someone that still has the passion for what they're doing and wanting to play and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And we did briefly talk about off air about, the Canton Palace Theater, its history a little bit, how it was almost torn down, stuff like that. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was built in 1926. There was a fellow in Canton who was, I'll call him a druggist. He made a patent medicine. So, and it was called tonsilline. And this stuff was, it was like a sore throat remedy or something. It was probably all alcohol or who knows, opium, who knows. But anyway, who knows. But anyway, he made a fortune selling this stuff. So in 1926, he wanted to give back a gift to the city that had been so good to him.
Right.
So he put $1 million in 1925 money into the Palace Theater, which equates to like $22 million now. So this guy had a lot of money.
Right.
Anyway, so he hired John Eberson, same architect as the Akron Civic, to design a movie palace for Canton, and that's what he did. And it was hugely successful. Of course, all the cities in Northeast Ohio were really booming at that period.
Of course.
And so anyway, so he put nothing but the best into this theater, and unfortunately, he died before it opened.
Oh,
but
so unfortunate.
But his family owned the theater and ran it and through its life until 1976 when it finally closed. And in 76, it was about to be torn down, and I don't know what they had plans for that lot, but a group of sort of movers and shakers in Canton stepped in and took it over, formed the Canton Palace Theater Association, and then from there it came back step by step until now. We're actually in a process of a big capital campaign to actually expand the theater stage house and add lobby space. And so it's actually growing even bigger now.
Of course. And I'm guessing that extra space is going to be for more shows, for more movies, more live music.
Yeah, it was built as a silent movie vaudeville house. Okay. So when you went to the movies in 26, you would hear the Palace had a 16-piece orchestra, had the organ. There was a fellow named Banks Kennedy who played the organ opening night. You would see, say, 3 vaudeville acts. So it'd be like I think the opening night there was a magician and a dance, like a ballroom dance group, or a couple and a singer or something. And then you would see a short, hear the orchestra play, see a feature. I mean, it was an evening for your quarter or whatever you paid.
Right.
And so it was a big event, you know. And so but the stage was built when they built the theater. The stage wasn't designed for the big shows that we have nowadays. You know, it was designed just for those quick on-off, you know, sharpshooters, magicians,
Right.
monkey acts,
Right.
you know, that kind of stuff. And so anyway, so now to keep up with the times, we need to have a space that's bigger. And we have 1,500 seats. So our lobby space is small. So we need extended lobby space for more bars,
Of course.
more concession,
Of
more
course.
restrooms.
Right. More
you know,
things for people
more
to
things
do,
that
right?
people nowadays want.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
And talking about movies, you mentioned a little bit about the organ.
Right.
I do want to talk about some of the music and showings that you guys have coming up.
Right.
I know that a big one for you guys is Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
A showing of Phantom of the Opera.
That's
Could
right.
you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's we're going to do something that hasn't been done in Canton in 100 years.
Right, right. But
So-
it has been done other places,
Has
correct?
been done other places, yes. So I do silent movies at the Palace all the time.
Right.
Twice a year, we'll do just with organ and the movie, just with me. But Joseph Rubin and I, who conducts the orchestra, we wanted to do Phantom of the Opera because people love that silent film. And we're going to use a 16-piece orchestra from American Musical Productions that Joseph is going to conduct. And we're going to incorporate the Kilgan organ in with the orchestra to play the score for Phantom. And what we're doing is what Joseph has done is taken the original 1925 score that was written for the film back then, and he is using it, and we're incorporating things. The organ really wasn't in there much, but we're incorporating things in with the organ.
Okay.
And so, but we're going to do a live accompaniment to the silent movie, just like it was done in the 1920s.
So your plan is to kind of take people back in time
Yes.
and put them in this time period while the silent movie obviously is being played.
That's right, exactly. Because when, obviously we're not going to have vaudeville acts, but that would be really fun. but,
Right.
But when they come in, you're going to be transformed back to 1926. So the orchestra will be there. We'll be playing along with the film. And, silent films obviously are silent. There's no dialogue, no music in the movie itself. But we provide the emotional support to the film. So, and that's our whole goal.
Yeah, and I feel like silent movies too as well it's all about being able to watch it and not hearing anything obviously and still being able to be like, wow, that was such an amazing show.
It's funny, and a lot of people, especially people your age, have never really experienced one.
Right.
Now, and it is funny. I just played the movie Nosferatu last week at the
I'm
theater.
familiar.
Yeah, and so we had a lot of younger people at that showing, and I had a couple guys from Kent that came down that were just amazed by it.
Yeah.
And they, but it's one of those things where I think a lot of people are afraid to go see them because they don't. It's like, is it going to be boring? Is it going to be like old?
Right.
But it was an art form and pretty short lived.
Oh yeah.
But it was an art form that was really amazing. And it wasn't something that people could just walk up and do. I mean, I always tell people when I do these shows, I say, you've got to remember that there was no CGI.
Right.
There was no computer graphics. When they fell off a building, they fell off a
Really?
building and landed.
Yeah.
And, when they were running a team of horses and fall over, it actually happened. These people got hurt.
Yeah,
doing
doing
these
that.
movies. Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah.
But Phantom is the story everybody's familiar with. If you've seen the Weber musical, it's the same story, same idea, but it was before Weber. So this is what the Weber music was based on, is this film and from the novel in 1910.
Right,
So.
right. And then, so looking forward to all of these events, I'm sure there's just so many that you guys go through.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they fly by you so fast. I mean, having such a big schedule and everything so crammed,
Right.
you really take it on one at a time. What is your favorite thing to do? What are you looking most forward to, whether it's in the winter, if it's in the summer? What's
Well,
your favorite?
I love doing the silent movies.
Yeah.
Because it's, it's one of those things where, a lot of people, we're so distracted now by everything, by phones and everything. But when I'm playing a silent movie, it's like you're so focused on the film, it really like makes you focus. And
Right.
and I think it makes the people in the audience, I think they become focused. So it sort of takes away from that. We're so overloaded with information that this is what you've got for an hour and a half or so, that you just focus on that.
Yeah.
And but I love the theater. It's this from the smell of the popcorn when you walk in the door to just the atmosphere of the place and the people around it. Everything we do there is fun.
Yeah, it's fun to you as well,
Oh, it
I'm
is. It's
sure.
fun to me.
And I'm sure it's fun to watch all of that stuff go on behind the scenes.
Oh, for
I
sure.
mean, I enjoy doing things here and watching behind the scenes, so I can't even imagine what it takes, to run an entire Palace Theater, run all the events, the live music, the silent movies, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really appreciate you coming in. If anybody is looking for tickets, if they're looking for more information where they can see these silent movies, where should they go to?
You can go to cantonpalacetheatre.org, and you'll find information there about the capital improvement campaign, the 100-year improvement campaign, about Phantom of the Opera coming up. It's November 2nd, and it's in the afternoon, so it's at 3 o'clock. And it's only about an hour and 15 minutes, so it's not like you're going to be there for 3 hours.
Right.
It's a relatively short period of time, so but you will see live orchestra, live organ with the movie, and concessions is open, the bar is open, so
Right.
it'll be a fun, nice afternoon.
Right. And this is people's time to turn off their phones,
Yeah, exactly.
watch the
Right.
silent movie,
Right.
maybe feel a little bit better even afterwards without the noise.
Yes, exactly. And after the movie, come down and see me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll be at the organ. So just come down and say hi. If
Yeah.
you have questions, I'd always love to talk about it.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on today and talking to us
cool.
about Phantom of the Opera and what you guys do for the Canton Palace Theater.
Yeah, we'll do our best. So please come see us.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Of course. And thank you guys so much for watching. We always appreciate the support. Again, everybody, that was Jay Spencer with the Canton Palace Theater. Make sure you guys go online, get your tickets for Phantom of the Opera showing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you right after this.